welcome to another Fusion 360 tutorial. On this one, as we have said in our last video, we're going to go over splines. Now, going to drop down, go to our spline. Our fit point spline that you're going to first see is going to be something like this. So we'll go to our origin, we'll click. Now as you can see, it looks just like an ordinary line. But what's different with a spline is once you click here, it will continue on, much like a line. However, it will start to curve at the points that you place it. So we'll go ahead and place another one here. As you can see, it'll draw another line, and we'll place it there. So the more you click, you can drag it, and you can start to bring curves into play. And you can get some of these more unique shapes by doing this. Once you are done with your polygon, I guess a good practice would be to make sure that this is the last line. We'll say this is the last line, we'll click. Now everything is within the boundary. If you move this mouse at all, it will start to kind of mess with it a little bit, and we don't want that. So once you are done, I would suggest keeping your mouse in place and just hitting enter. Now this is what you are left with. Now what's kind of neat about this is you can kind of mess with it, you know, even further if you'd wish. You know, you can go ahead and move these points around if you wish. As you can see, those little handle grippers to do even more manipulation with this are not highlighted until you click on the line. As you can see now, the handles appear. It gives you further access to kind of manipulating it. As you can see, you can grip these little handles, and you can expand if you bring them in and out the radius of the curve. You can also rotate them and kind of give them just kind of get them to where you want, and you can make whatever kind of profile that you really desire. It's very helpful. These things are great for things that aren't, you know, basically straight lines. So if you want to do curves and you don't want to use circles or anything, this is a great way to make complicated and complex shapes. So we will now go to our next spline. This is a control point spline. We're going to go ahead and click, and once again kind of start going over. Now as you can see, it has left a little node right here, so we're going to extend this even further, and do this. Okay, we'll leave our mouse in our last place that we want it. We'll hit enter. Now basically what this is a different way of manipulating the lines that you make. They're a little more archy than the other ones. The other ones you can kind of make really tight angles and arcs on them. This one is more of I guess smoother arc that you can place on these. You can still kind of make some pretty harsh arcs on them, but it's a little more linear and curvy, long curves instead of short ones. So that's kind of the difference between that. And then you can also close the profiles to make, you know, a defined sketch, a fully defined sketch that is constrained. More on that later. But those are the two options for splines. These are very handy to use. I would suggest putting them, you know, in your toolbar just so you don't forget about them, because they are useful. How to do that is you go to your splines, you go to your drop down, these little dots here, you click on it, you can put pin to toolbar, and this goes for anything that you want to add to your shortcut toolbar. You just go over to it, click these three little dots, and you can pin to your toolbar. You can also, if you use something more so than other, you can also do a change keyboard shortcut, which is basically a hotkey. Alright, so that sums up this video on splines. Our next one will be on conic curves. So be sure to stick around, and hopefully see you in our next video.